All right, let's talk about the Chicago Bears. Obviously, it's been a heck of an offseason up to this point. Great job bringing in with the new coaching staff, phenomenal free agency work, some trades as well, and really solid draft across the board, certainly in day one and day two. But there's another guy who's emerging. If you listen to the Bears coaching staff and Bears fans, you're going to really love what we have to say about this. This is the sign of the Bears having a massive draft still emerging. We'll get into that report and the data behind it in just 1 second. But first, I'm Nick. That's Andrew, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, this is the time of year where everyone just falls in love with social media reports and highlights from rookie mini camps, and OTAs are right around the corner. And it just becomes something cool to watch on ESPN or on the internet or something like that. Oh, look at this guy make a really good play or something like that. But the reality is, if you're looking for steals, for breakout players to emerge, avoid that kind of stuff. Listen to what coaches are saying and doing. That will point you in the direction of young playmakers that are emerging. And there's one coach talking about a Bears late day 3 draft pick that I know a lot of you guys really like. We're talking about Kyle Monangai, who is emerging already as a legit force. Let's get into this report courtesy of CBS News. Then we'll go into some data on the other side. Bears offensive coordinator Declan Doyle emphasized Monangai's attentiveness and drive. He is a very physical player. He's very willing. And then the best thing about him that translates is that he's a consummate pro. The last couple of days we've been able to meet with these guys. He is front and center. He's taking notes. He's attentive. You're asking a question of the group. He's asking, Doyle said, and I think he's going to carry himself that way. I think guys that do handle themselves that way give themselves a great shot. I think that last sentence is very important. It's clear how he's handled himself. We're talking about Monangai here, the approach he's taken, the mental side of the game, being very coachable, being a professional, right? This is jobs, this is livelihoods, this is big boy football here. He is taking it dead seriously. Day one, he showed that all the way through rookie minicamp. He showed that all the way through the draft process. His coach at Rutgers, Schiano, has come out and said, listen, there's something special about this kid. He's got a special mentality. He is a very mature individual. This is a guy that is mentally ready to slide in right away and be a big-time contributor on any NFL offense, specifically the Chicago Bears. And look, there were reports through the draft the Bears were looking to trade up to get a running back in the second round. It didn't work out that way, but they clearly were looking for a running back to add to this running back room. And if you look at what Kyle Monangai has been, the talking about Monangai, it's clear he's emerging as a guy to be a key piece, even though he was a late round draft pick. But you talk about his late round draft status. When you go into the advanced analytics, it's very clear that that was a little bit of a, we'll call it a poor job of the NFL scouting department as a whole, because his stats are off the charts. Let's go into this first chart we have here that we created, comparing Kyle Monangai to some other mid-round guys in terms of some of advanced data right here. And this first chart is talking about yards after contact per attempt. Now, this is one of my favorite metrics to look at because I think this is one of the things you're looking for in terms of a running back. How consistently do you break tackles? How consistently do you fall forward, right? If you have a great offensive line in college and no one touches you for the first 30 yards and the first guy gets near you and gets you on the ground right away, that really isn't telling me how good of a running back you are, especially if you look at Monangai, who played at Rutgers, played a lot of tough competition, played in a lot of games where his offensive line wasn't as good as the opposition defensive line, and he had to break a lot of tackles, fight through a lot of yards, get a lot of yards after contact, be a very physical downhill runner. And if you look at his numbers here and compare to some really quality mid-round running backs, Quinshawn Judkins, Trevor Etienne, and Woody Marks, Monangai is better than all of them. He's basically on the same level as Etienne out of Georgia, significantly better than Woody Marks, significantly better than Quinshawn Judkins, who, by the way, was known for yards after contact during his collegiate ranks. So again, we're looking at a guy, Monangai here, who, when it comes to mid-round guys, a lot of people viewed, guys like Junkins and Etienne as potential steals where they were selected. Monangai's numbers are even better. But when you look at it, another great statistic, let's go into our second chart here. We're talking about missed tackles for us. So I'm just going to jump right into this. Look at Monangai on the far right here. He is leaps and bounds better about forcing the opposition, the defenders, to miss tackles. Well ahead of Woody Marks, well ahead of Etienne, well ahead of Quinshawn Judkins. I mean, no one's even in the same ballpark. To me, this is a hidden statistic that speaks to how special a player can be. I remember a coach of mine when I played college football, small time college football, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but he always said running backs earn their scholarships, or in the case of the National Football League, earn their paychecks, making people miss. forcing missed tackles, right? Like I said a second ago, any running back can run through a huge hole and turn it into a big play. Any running back, if it's, first and goal at the 1 and the offensive line blows everyone off the football and you can power into the end zone, any running back can do that. But what running back can, when a guy has a clear shot at you at the line of scrimmage, can you make a miss and turn it into a 5-yard run? What running back, when he has a seam and he gets into the second, third level, safety comes up, he's able to make him miss and turn it into a bigger play? Missing tackles is a kind of hidden statistic that speaks to how good running backs can become at the next level. I call it the steal metric. The higher this number is, your missed tackles force, the greater likelihood you're a steal. And if you look at Monungai's numbers, that likelihood is incredibly high. You can see why the Bears are high on him in terms of Monungai's mentality, his leadership, his maturity. But in terms of his performance and his raw talent, it's pretty incredible too. I think we can all agree the Chicago Bears got themselves a special young playmaker in this running back, Kyle Monungai. All right, Miles, I'm curious what your thoughts are on all of this. But first, Bears fans, in the comment section below, obviously, as we work our way closer to training camp and, of course, preseason and in the regular season, I've got a great question for you guys. This is an exciting time to be a Chicago Bears fan. It's an exciting time to be from Chicago. The Pope's from Chicago, for God's sakes. So with that in mind, what's one matchup you're more excited for this season more than any other? The schedule's been released. We got all that information. Give us the one game, one matchup, 1 week you're looking forward to more than any other, opening week, a primetime game, whatever it may be. Give us that matchup in the comment section below. But Mize, over to you now. What are your thoughts on the Bears, Kyle Monungai, and just everything with Chicago right now?
Yeah, Nick, I think when you look at Monangai, you look at what he's bringing to the table. I do think this was a major steal because I don't understand. If you look at PFF grades, look at things like that, you see this guy slid in the draft all the way to the 7th round. But if you look at his PFF grades from year 1 to year 2, it just he really lit it up in 2023 as far as overall grade. He had 92.5 overall offensive grade. But in 2023, and then in 2024, he had a 77.3 overall grade. But if you look at the individual statistics he had in that season as well, going off things like you talked about, missed tackles force, you got his breakaway percentages, you got his runs of 15 yards or more. Things like that just shows explosiveness, shows his ability to make people miss, shows his toughness as a runner. He did just as good or not better in every single statistic in 2024 and in 2 less games played as well. So it doesn't make that much sense to me. Sometimes I love BFF. There's a lot of really great stuff, but stuff like this, I don't see the 20-point drop off here going from into the low 90s, 92.5, all the way down to 77.3 in 2024, because this guy, he was incredible. 2023, 8 touchdowns. 2024, 13 touchdowns for him. 2023, in 2 more games played, he had 5.2 yards per attempt. 2024, in less games played, still had 5 yards per attempt. So again, very similar stats here, looking really, really good. Look at yards after contact, very, very similar. Both over 3 yards yards after contact per attempt. So again, good. 73 missed tackles forced in 2023, 66 in 2024. But again, 2 less games played there, and he's almost identical numbers. Then gone to yards, design runs of 15 plus yards. A guy, 2023, had 16 of those. 2024, he bumped it up a little bit, 18 in 2 less games played there as well. So this guy, I think he's a steal. I think you look at what he does, how he was graded in 2024, maybe a little bit harsh, maybe not quite as fair. But if you look at what he did, this guy is a heck of a running back. He has great stats. He looks really good on paper. Decent size, 209 pounds, 5'9" for a running back. I don't know how he got to where he is, but I'm sure Bears fans are going to be very excited about him because this guy seems like an absolute steal. I don't really see too much fall off between 2023 and 2024. I think he probably should have been drafted a little bit higher, but to the Bears' benefit, they're able to snag him in the 7th round. I think this guy is going to really turn the NFL on notice when he is able to get on the field this year.
Yeah, you brought up a lot of his numbers. Let's go ahead and throw up his stats on the screen here from 2023 and 2024, just that way people can understand and just get a little frame of reference here and just see the consistency, the production, 1,000-yard rusher, 5 yards per carry, 21 total rushing touchdowns. He's a really good player, really productive player, whether it's his raw data, the advanced analytics. Monangai should have been drafted in the middle of the draft, fell late, of course, the 7th round. Great value for the Bears. But when you look at what's going on right now with the running back room for Chicago as a whole, I think there's an interesting report from a Chicago Tribune insider, Brad Biggs, and he said this, talking about the running back room. It's a wide open competition there at the running back position. You would imagine DeAndre Swift will be in the front of that, but there's an opportunity for 2 things, playing time and touches. That's why they drafted him, talking about Kyle Monangai. So based on the insider report as well, it seems like there's a good path for Monangai, not just to make the team, but to get valuable touches. And the fact that he recognizes that, smart kid, understands that some guys, it sounds crazy, they get to the National Football League, they just kind of sit there and don't really take advantage of the opportunity. It's kind of crazy and dumb to think about, but it does happen. But Nungai isn't just taking advantage of the opportunity. He is being hyper aggressive, doing everything he can. Again, consummate pro, first in the meeting, asking questions, making sure he understands the mental side of the game. So that way, come training camp and preseason, he'll understand the assignments, he'll understand pass protection, and then we can see his running talent really just unload and allow the Bears to give him a great opportunity to earn significant playing time. And we can see those missed tackles, forced, and yards after contact in the preseason. And then after that, I won't be surprised if we see a lot more of that come regular seasons. So again, this is the time of year. If you look at what the coaches are saying, what the coaches are doing, it's very clear Monangai's in the middle of a battle to get serious playing time. It's clear the coaches are impressed by his maturity already. And we already talked about his numbers. They're outstanding. Kyle Monangai, I know he's a name a lot of you Bears fans are already really high on him, but I think you guys should be even more impressed, and a lot of you guys already are. I think this is a chance to be one of the steals of the draft, this young Bears running back.